Hello, a warm welcome to you in the Ghatna Chakra book video. Let's begin this journey where we will present every topic in a simple, clear, and exam-oriented manner.
Hey, welcome! When you think about how modern India is run, it's a huge topic. But what if I told you that you could understand the very foundation of its entire administrative structure with just two simple things: a single number and a single person? That's it. Together, they tell this incredible story of how the world's largest democracy actually works day to day. So, let's get right into it.
Okay, so it all kicks off with this, the number 3. That's it, just 3. Now I know it looks super simple, but this single digit, it's the key to one of the most powerful and fundamental concepts in the entire Indian government. We're talking about an idea that, quite literally, holds the country together. So what's the big deal with the number 3?
Well, here's the answer. 3 represents the total number of all India services that exist today. And if you're not familiar, these are basically the elite core of the country's civil servants. We're talking about officers who can work for both the central government in New Delhi and for any state government across the country. They really are the core, the very heart of India's bureaucracy.
So let's talk a bit more about these all India services, because they're often called the backbone of the administration. And that's not an exaggeration. These are the folks who are actually implementing policy on the ground, maintaining law and order, and just keeping the massive engine of the country running day in and day out. You can think of them as this essential framework that makes sure things are done consistently, all the way from the capital down to the most remote district.
Okay, so now we know what they are. That's the first part of the puzzle. But, something this big, this important, it doesn't just pop into existence, right? It takes real vision. It takes a plan. It takes an architect. So that leads us to the big question. Who was the person behind this entire crucial framework?
And that brings us to the second and final piece of our story today, the Founding Father. We're about to meet the one person whose singular vision created this unified administrative system for a brand new, independent India.
That person was Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. I mean, you have to put yourself in his shoes. As India's very first Home Minister, he's looking at this new, fragile nation, and he just knew it needed a powerful, unifying force to survive. And for him, the answer was clear. He argued so passionately that these all-India services were the absolute key, the vital tool for holding the country together, especially in those early, vulnerable years.
And because of all his work, all his vision, he earned this incredibly powerful title, the Father of All India Services. And look, this wasn't just some honorary nickname. No way. It was a recognition of his deepest belief that for India to truly succeed and stay united, it had to have an independent, impartial civil service, one that would put the nation first above absolutely everything else.
So, let's just boil it all down, right? If you remember nothing else, remember this. When it comes to India's civil services, it's all about these two things. The number 3, that's for the 3 All India services, and the architect, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the man who is, quite rightly, called their father. It's amazing, really. 2 simple facts that tell such a huge story about building a nation from the ground up.
And that really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Patel himself had a name for these services. He called them the steel frame of India. So think about that. Why a steel frame? What does it actually take for a bureaucracy, a group of civil servants, to become that strong, that unbending structure that can hold an entire nation together through thick and thin? I think a big part of the answer lies in the vision we've just talked about. Thanks so much for joining me on this one.